guys, this is our next group trip, this food, lux, and spa adventure we're going to be putting together here in South Africa. You're going to be staying in some of the best locations in the country, and then of course you're going to have the opportunity to shop while you're here in some of the top locations possible. And then of course we're going to be doing 5-star all the way, so that's what you can expect. We're going to have a minimum of 2 spa days inside of us eating at some of the best restaurants in South Africa as well. So we are imploring you to go ahead and come on this trip. You can go to our website and you will find it. You can go ahead and book that trip on the site. Like I said, it's coming in April 2025. So go ahead and prepare for something that's going to be truly outstanding and memorable. See you in sunny South Africa.
Hey everyone, it is Latasha Blanton with The Real South Africa, and I just want to thank you guys for joining us on this live. Good afternoon to those of you who are in the US, and good evening to those of us who are in South Africa. If you are just now joining us, thank you so much. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And today I want to remind everyone that we are going to be in the United States on October 16th and 17th for the Travel and Adventure Show. Those of you that are in Atlanta area, please be sure to stop by, share, and of course, come and purchase your experience to South Africa in person. Now, today, the person I have with me had the opportunity to come and travel with The Real South Africa. Her journey is something that I'm going to allow her to share with you, and I hope that you guys will enjoy her story. So now, without further ado, I'm going to welcome Mrs. Maxine Beckford. Hi, Maxine.
Hi, Ms. Dr. Blanton. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so good. Thank you for taking the opportunity or allowing me to, recap your experience here in South Africa. If you will just do me a favor and go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and tell them how you found us.
Okay. I'm from New York. I'm actually from Long Island, Valley Stream. And I've always wanted to go to the continent of Africa. So I was turning 50 in 2020.
Right.
And I told my boyfriend that I wanted to go to Morocco. And he was like, why you want to go to Morocco? Why, if you're going to go to Africa, why are you going to go to Morocco? I was like, we could go to Morocco, then we could go to Spain. And like maybe a month later, he sent me information about The Real South Africa. So I looked into it. I looked into the tours that you had, and I was like, this would be a great experience. So I reached out to you, and you provided information about The Real South Africa, the tours. You just gave me a lot of information, and you were very quick in responding to the questions that I had. I think I asked you about whether I needed to get extra vaccines, and all of that. The travel, as far as which airline, you made recommendations. So you were like very clear about everything. So I decided, for my 50th, this is where I'm going. So then COVID happened, and that just threw everything off. So I had to postpone it. So shortly after, I would say the beginning of this year, you reached out to me and you were kind of like, we're opening up, think about when you want to come back. So I figured that I would come back on my birthday this year again. But unfortunately, my boyfriend wasn't able to go. So I asked my cousin, who's like my best friend, I was like, do you want to come with me? And she was like, sure. So then her sister-in-law wanted to tag along with us as well. So that's how that all happened. So we actually traveled, we left New Jersey on September 25th, and then we arrived in South Africa on the 26th. So we did the 6-day package, and now I regret that I didn't do 10 days, but I'm planning on coming back. So that's how it happened.
No, that's beautiful. I think that I find it ironic that you wanted to spend your 50th year. Obviously, COVID stopped that from happening, but you weren't deterred. You were like, I'm still gonna go. Yeah, it was a year later, but it was still around the time of your birthday. And I think that your birthday was the very next day after you got here, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And tell me, when you were trying to get your cousin and your and her sister-in-law to join you guys, like, what was that process like? Was it like pulling teeth? Like, how did you get them to join you?
It wasn't like pulling teeth. They were actually very excited. Like, they were like, my cousin was like, are you sure? You sure? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, I'm in. So then when her sister-in-law found out, then she was like, can I come? And I was like, sure, you can come. So it wasn't a process of them like, oh, we don't know, we're not sure. They were all in for it.
No, that's good. That's good. So I think that the first question I want to ask you, like, what were your impressions or your preconceived notions, per se, of South Africa before you got here?
So I would have to say my preconceived notions, of course, what everybody thinks about apartheid. When you're traveling out of the United States, you feel like, what's the accommodations going to be like? How are the people going to be? What language do they speak? But you provided so much information as far as South Africans speak English, but yes, different tribes, they have their own language, but everyone spoke English. It's no different than going to somewhere, I would say here in the United States, where you would be concerned about the accommodations, the people, how the people are and stuff like that. I wasn't concerned as far as, I'm going to be and I hate saying this, but like, I'm going to be in the jungle somewhere, or I'm going to be in some hut, that whole thing. And again, like when I told, and I think I told you this, like when I told like my coworkers I'm going to South Africa, it was like, oh, you're going to go on a safari? I'm like, yeah, but I'm doing other things. It's not just a safari. So yeah.
So I'm glad that they didn't, require a whole lot of prodding, because I think that it's a thing where if you spend a lot of time trying to convince someone to come to South Africa, then you end up not having a good time. So I'm grateful that the ladies were, it was basically ended up being a girls' trip. And that's pretty much why I wanted to talk to you, because a lot of people have questions about, can I come alone? Should I bring girlfriends? But if you've got a good group of girls, you guys were absolutely amazing. So thank you again for the opportunity. But when you decided to travel, it obviously wasn't a difficult decision, because you wanted to come to the continent. And when you finally did travel, what was like, were you afraid? Did you feel safe here? Like, were you like, okay, like, how did you feel about that whole process?
I actually felt safe. I didn't have any anxiety about, oh, I'm not going to be safe. Again, I have to thank you, because you explained everything to us. Like, it was, where, the driver to look for, what they're going to have on. So that process was easy. The transportation from the airport to the hotel. At one point did I feel unsafe, even when we went on our tours. We went to safari. Not one point did I feel like, oh, this is not safe. And again, you have to use your common sense when you're going anywhere. We live in New York. You're not just going to walk around in some random place. Like, you have to be on your P's and Q's. But,
Yeah.
right. But it was anything out of what I would usually follow if I'm here. Put it like that.
I understand. So basically, coming from New York and having to be aware of your surroundings. If you grow up like that, that doesn't change just because you travel. Like you don't
Right.
go in here and let your guard down. So that was good. So I'm glad that you felt safe, and I appreciate you talking about the overall process of booking and all of that. Do you think that the process from beginning to end, from the time you made the first phone call almost 2 years ago to when you got here, explain that process, and do you think that it was a simple process for to be able to book with us?
I feel that the process was pretty easy. I reached out to you, this, of course, there's a time difference. You guys are 6 hours ahead, but you responded in a timely fashion. As far as setting up payments or having a payment plan for those that may not have the money right away, but if you plan the trip, say, a year or 6 months or whatever, you have time to pay your trip. The process of doing the payments is very easy. You get a receipt. You provided a receipt. You emailed this receipt as soon as you got the payment. Then it was all about booking the flight. So at first, you recommended South African Airlines, but I think they were, by the time the end of COVID, there was some stuff going on. So I just the three of us kind of were on the phone together, and we booked a direct flight to South Africa, which was easy. Provided the information to you. We didn't have to wait around for our driver. The driver was there as soon as we came through customs. So the process was seamless.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, we work really hard as a tourism company here in South Africa to try and make sure that for those in the diaspora coming from any part of the world, that we make it as easy as possible. Meaning, we don't want you to have to worry about cars or drivers or accommodations. And can you tell the people a little bit about like how you felt about your accommodations that when you got here?
So can I say I've traveled. I have to say this was the best hotel that I've been in so far in my entire life. And I'm not saying I've not been to dumps. I've been to other hotels where it's been, all inclusive and everything, but it was very nice. It's a Marriott. Like, the breakfast was not just bagels, cereal, and eggs. It was like a whole spread. It was a variety of food there. The food at the hotel actually was very good. There's like a restaurant, the hotel restaurant, and there's another restaurant, but the food was amazing there. It was really good.
So let's talk about the food, because you did get a chance to have the breakfast at the hotel, which we always recommend. It's always included in packages. For those of you that don't know, breakfast is included daily. But you did get to have a really nice 2 sit-down dinners. So tell me a little bit about those dinners and how you felt in both of those environments.
I felt safe. I felt it felt like being in an upscale restaurant here in the States. A variety of food, also with South African cuisine also included. The food was great. Great drinks.
Oh yeah, great, definitely great. I think your your cousin sister-in-law, I think she enjoyed the drinks the most. Every time I spoke to her, she was like, "No, I had this many Long Islands." I was like,
right.
Like,
right.
She had a really good time. So what was your most memorable day here in South Africa? If you can tell me a little bit about that.
I
If
would
you had
have.
to say,
I would have to say my most memorable day would be speaking to one of the tribesmen of the Kosian tribe,
mhm,
and just the whole dynamics and the history of the tribe and their demands that they, what their demands are from the South African government.
mhm,
Um, that really kind of made me like a little emotional,
mhm.
because it just reminds me that as far as Black people here in the States, and it's like the same story. It's the same story. And I think it's important for us to travel out to see the stories of other Black people, their
Yeah,
story.
for sure. No, that's impressive that you got to actually even do that. But tell me how you got to that point, because it wasn't like happenstance. Like you had an amazing guide that you talked about a lot. So
Yes.
tell everybody about your guide and your driver here in South Africa.
Herbie. He he is like a walking historian. So much information. It wasn't just driving us to the places. It was about him telling us the whole dynamics of South Africa regarding the people, the culture. And we went to the park, and we were like taking pictures. We were taking pictures with the children there. Um, the Nelson Mandela statue. And he was just like, "Oh, do you want to speak to the king of the Kosian tribe?" And we're like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" He was like, "Come." So then he goes in, but the king wasn't there. It was one of the other, I'm going to say chief. And we actually were able to have a whole conversation with him, and he explained everything. It was amazing.
I love that, and you're right. Herbie is one of our experienced guides here. We do try to make sure you can spend as much time with Herbie as you can. He really is a walking historian. I mean, he has an amazing story of his own.
Yes.
Um, and I think that because he is so open about what he knows, that when you ask questions, you really can see like the comparison to how we're more alike, like you said. Like there's a lot of similarities, so you can kind of say, you know what, this is an easy choice once you
Mhm.
realize that we've all kind of been through the same thing, so it makes it easy to relate. So
Right.
thank you. We'll shout out to Herbie for making letting you meet a king
Sharp,
while you're
sharp.
I know, right? So you've been on other vacations. You've already mentioned that. And I think you went on a vacation just prior to coming to South
Right.
Africa, right? So was it a vacation did it feel like vacation when you came, or did it feel like something else?
It felt, it was not only a vacation, it was an experience. It was definitely an experience. Like I it's like I can't even explain. It's a whole experience. It wasn't just okay, we're just gonna sit at the beach and just chill, and it was
Yeah.
a whole experience. It was just a whole vibe of being in that space, um, experiencing the people, the culture. Um, yeah, it's just an experience. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like it's truly an experience.
No, I think that's beautiful to hear, because we don't actually get a chance to vacation properly. But when you can vacation and it does feel like an experience, and you can go away and say, I learned something, and you really feel holistic about your time, that's kind
Right.
of what go for. So I can appreciate that a lot. So I do thank you for saying that it was an experience, because we do really try to make sure you have a full-fledged experience, meaning that you get to mix and mingle with the people, eat the food, be in the streets. And I think you guys just kind of walked around and enjoyed it. You did some shopping while you were here too, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yes.
You
Yes.
did some
we
shopping.
did.
Now, tell me about some of your shopping experiences compared to some other places that you've been.
So the Mall of Africa for me is like one of our typical malls here in the States, because it has a lot of the stores that we have here, Gap, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, those stores, Coach, it's in the mall. But then we went to like another mall where it's like the craft market, where it has more of, you can get traditional clothing and beads and, jewelry. So that was like really nice.
No, that I'm glad that you guys had a good time. I don't think you slept very much. I think that you guys hit the ground running. You're like,
Yeah.
nah, we're going.
Yeah,
Work.
yeah.
And I found it ironic that you guys like almost forced yourself to stay awake and just like, because the time zone difference can be a bit much, and you had a direct. I think you guys did an amazing job of trying to make sure that you didn't miss anything at all. Is there anything that you would want anybody to know as far as like preparing for travel to South Africa? Should they travel to South Africa? Like, what would you want if you had to meet someone on the street? Like, what would you tell them about South Africa and your experience and, in general? Like, what would you tell them?
I feel that everything was just well organized. Well organized from doing our COVID tests to come back. From the staff at the hotel were very friendly and accommodating. The drivers that we had, Herbie, very nice, knowledgeable, accommodating. So to answer your question, what should you do to prepare? Make sure your passport is up to date. And there's nothing really that I can think of that would be any different than traveling somewhere else. Like, right. Cuisine is here. I mean, the cuisine is there. There's nothing strange or crazy. And I don't think there's really anything you need to do to prepare to
other than just give us a call and get your flight. That's
right.
I think that was the simplest way to say what you said, because truth of the matter is, we do try and make it as easy for you as possible. And really, I think the only thing you really had to do was get your flight. And we stayed in constant communication with you, which is something that we do with everyone. If anything changes, we do that part too. So South Africa makes it easy for us to make it easy for you. You just got to decide to travel here and, contact us, and we kind of do the rest. Now, before you guys left, you were already chatting about another trip. Like making this an annual girls trip. Like, forget all the people that y'all left back home. Is that still a conversation that you guys are having?
Yes. We're definitely thinking about going to Durban and to the Cape Coast.
Cape Town.
Cape Town, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, that's the other trip that we're thinking about.
Now, are you gonna bring more people, or just gonna be the three of you this time?
We're gonna probably bring more people with us. Yeah. Because it was great. We really had a good time.
Now, your your fiance that decided he wasn't going to travel, how is he jealous a little bit? Because you probably came back and you're just chit-chatting about how awesome it was. Does he feel left out at all? Because now you've got this experience with your cousins and, you know, sister-in-law, and you're having a conversation that he can't be a part of. How does he feel?
He know he missed out. He missed out. He was like, yeah. He knows he missed out. He knows he missed out on a great experience. So
That's great. Now tell the people about your birthday. How was your birthday? What did you do on your birthday?
So on my birthday, my cousin, she arranged for a makeup artist and for a photo shoot. And she bought a dress for me, and she surprised me with all of this. So it was really amazing. And it was like not something that I would ever think of doing for myself, but she did it for me, and it was really nice.
So the backstory on the photo shoot is that she sent me a separate message, and she says, "Look, this is Maxine's birthday is on this day. What can we do?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's right up my alley. I love birthdays." And I said, "We can do this, this, or this." And she was like, "Oh, let's do this." And I'm like, "Not a problem." Made some, phone calls, some messages, and she was like, "I want to do that." She said, "But I don't want to tell her. I want it to be a surprise." And I'm like, "I love surprises." So it worked out great. Our makeup artist and the photographer are amazing. They are available to those of you in South Africa and those of you that are traveling to have his expertise take some photos of you. I don't think I have any of the photos here, but I'm going to see if I have some so that you can kind of see. I got to figure out where I put them at. This is it. Hang on. Nope, that's not it. But I can't find the photos, but that's neither there. We'll show them to you guys later. They took some amazing photos together, and I think that she was really surprised at the whole idea of like having the whole thing, because you said it in your own words that you're like, I'm a very low key, like not trying to do a whole bunch. And the dress you had on was gorgeous. Both of them were beautiful.
Thank you.
And the pictures came out amazing. So I'm glad that you guys liked them. And I do want to thank your cousin for thinking enough of you to be like, no, it's her birthday. She needs this. They took very good care of you.
Yes, they did. They did.
It's very clear that they love you. They want you to have a good time. They made sure that you didn't have to worry about anything. And then, of course, I made sure none of you had to worry about anything. But overall, I'm thankful that you guys came. We'll be more than happy to prepare the the Durban trip, the Cape Town trip, a combination of a Durban and Cape Town trip.
Yes.
I do think that you guys would absolutely love Durban. Is there anything that you would say to anyone that's on the fence about traveling to South Africa?
Just do it. You will not regret it. Just do it. Just do it. It's safe accommodations, safe driver, COVID test. You don't even have to worry. All of that is arranged. You get your test back before you get on the plane. The airport is safe. Walking around in the area that we were at the hotel, safe. There's nothing. Just do it. Do it.
Don't worry about that. Now, there are a couple of comments in there. People are wishing you happy birthday. So happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
For, visiting South Africa to spend your birthday. There are questions about like COVID and stuff. So she just took a PCR test to enter and to exit. So there's no vaccine required to come into the country. So just keep those things in mind as you guys are preparing to to travel to South Africa. Vaccine or not, you still got to take the PCR test. That's the one in the nose. But the people that do the test here, they're actually very gentle. I mean, it's the test itself is ill intrusive, but they do a very good job of making sure that you guys are having that you have a nice experience even taking the PCR test. They're not like rough or anything about
Right,
that.
right.
So I know you had mentioned something earlier about the staff and the drivers, but overall, how did people treat you here in South Africa?
They were very welcoming, actually. They were very welcoming and very friendly to us. They're actually happy to see us coming there because, they've had a lockdown as well, and a lot of these people need to work. So it's nice seeing us. A lot of them greeted us as their sisters. So they were very friendly with us. Yeah, we didn't meet anyone that was not friendly.
Awesome. And this is a random question, but talk to me about how many people that look like you were flying over when you got here.
I'm sorry.
How many people? How many people that looked like you were on the plane when you flew over here?
Wow. So, so it was three of us. When we were coming, there was like a family of like 5.
Mm-hmm.
But going back, I think there was just one lady with her son. Everybody else was, not us, which was kind of surprising, but okay. Yeah.
So tell me why you think that's surprising, just out of curiosity.
Because I would think that more people would more people. I'm trying to be,
I know, I love it.
I would think that more of our people would be going there, but no, the plane was, we were the minority on the plane.
So then you have to ask yourself the question, why?
Well, we know why.
You could say it. You could say it. You could say why. They get tired of hearing me say it. You tell them why.
Right. Well, because South Africa is like the hub of Africa. A lot of business people are going down there to do business. So yeah. So a lot going on down there. A lot.
So I like that, because you're basically saying that there's a lot of business coming on that's going on down here, but we're not the ones doing business.
Right.
But we need to be the ones doing business.
Right.
We've already done that. Sweet. Any last thoughts? I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I think that, if your cousins want to hop on and give their side of the story, I would love to do that, because I know Kimon had an amazing time, and I
yes, she did.
Yeah, she had a good time. So just based on what she said, guys, as far as the plane and the demographics that were on the plane, that kind of emphasizes the importance of tourism to South Africa and the importance of people that have melanated skin to get to this continent and to this country, to kind of reinforce the importance of tourism, which is why we do what we do. So just keep those things in mind as you are thinking about travel to South Africa. Like Maxine said, we try and make it as easy as possible. All you're really responsible for is getting your flight, and we kind of, obviously you got to put the deposit down and pay for the trip, but we take care of all the rest. And just, I keep having questions pop up in my head as far as like the value of the trip. Like, do you think that it was affordable to come and get what you got, like money wise?
Absolutely. again, if someone is, whatever their financial situation is, if they can plan ahead, pay off their trip, and then work towards paying for their airfare, then it's very easy to do that. But definitely, if that is an issue, then you should, definitely plan. But it's not something that is not attainable. Like, it's affordable, and you don't have to worry about what am I eating today? What am I? Because that a lot of times takes up, can be costly, the meals. And I have to say that was not an issue at all.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, have you been to any other countries and on the continent? Or was this the first one?
This is the first one.
Okay. And I know that there's we usually say, Ghana had the year of the return, but I think that South Africa is basically the door of the return, meaning that this is the easiest landing spot for those of us that come from a westernized world. It has all the things that you mentioned earlier. And I think that when we had our conversation before, you mentioned how it felt good to just be, because you have certain comforts as a westernized person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And I just wanted to mention one thing. I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
As far as some people might have some concerns about COVID, so that's another thing. So every store you go into, the hotel, you have to sanitize your hands. Like, everything is clean, even up to each store in the mall. Every store, even in the craft market, you have to sanitize before you. Exactly. And people are wearing their mask over there. It's not one of these issues where people are,
Yeah. How'd that make you feel? Just judging from, obviously you're in the US. I think you work in the healthcare field. How does that make you feel, judging how they portray COVID in this country and then what you actually see when you get here?
It just really, again, dispels all the myths of Africa. Just dispels those myths, because everything is very organized and everyone is being very safe and clean. So, yeah.
No, that's good. And I think that when we were talking about the infrastructure here in South Africa, what would you speak to on the infrastructure for anyone who's wondering if South Africa is a place they should visit?
Definitely, I feel that based on what I've seen when I've gone there, yeah, that is definitely somewhere. I won't even say it's developing. It's developed. So it's definitely somewhere where, like you said, it's a soft landing for someone that's coming from the West.
Yeah. Is there anything that I know we're being careful here, and we're going to try and stay careful, but is there anything that, you just want them to know if we're talking to, like, what do you want them to know?
Can you repeat that?
Is there anything that you want them to know about South Africa, just in general?
It's a great place to visit. The history, the culture. It's one of those things that you will never forget. Like, you will never forget this experience. It was amazing. And like, when I go away on vacations, I do always try to do a cultural, to learn about the people. But this was amazing. I know I keep saying that, but
No, it's okay. I got but I appreciate that, because when I try to explain it, sometimes my words run out. So I'm like, my vocabulary isn't big enough to really express like how I feel on the inside about being here. I think, Kimon said that she liked Soweto because it felt like home. And but you guys liked everything about it. And I think, people should know that there's something for everyone here. If you want to be out in the bush, you can do that. If you want to, be in really nice places, you can do that. If you want to be in the hood, you can do that. But even in the hood, the people are living pretty good and they're having a good time. I know you saw that when you were there, right? How was your trip to Soweto? Yeah, how was your trip to Soweto?
Soweto was good. I liked going to Soweto. Very, busy, and I'm not meaning busy, but people are doing their thing in Soweto. It was a great experience being there, going to Nelson Mandela's house, and actually reading and seeing the pictures and everything there, just getting that whole experience of what it was like, which was not long ago in the 1990s. It was just nice seeing that.
No, that's good. That's good. All right. So we're going to wrap this up. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. People are asking where Mark is. They're asking all kinds of questions. Obviously, we're not going to answer too many questions. We can answer all those in the comment sections later. But thank you so much. If Kimon and Terry Ann, want to come on and talk about their time here and their experience using us to travel to South Africa, we're more than happy to have them. Again, guys, we will be in Atlanta. Well, actually, this weekend for the Travel and Adventure Show. We hope to see some of you guys there, but we'll be there for Saturday and Sunday. And I want to thank you again for coming on here, Maxine, and I hope to see you again soon here in South Africa.
Thank you, Dr. Blanton. You really made that whole experience. It was great, and I really appreciate you. Just everything that you and your husband has done to make this experience for me great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very, very much, and we will see you again very soon.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So that was Maxine. Obviously, she is very poised, and I appreciate her for taking the time to tell us how she felt. I mean, the truth of the matter is, coming to South Africa, sometimes your words are limited, and you try to be careful because it's so many things going on in your head about how beautiful it is. So you say words like amazing, all the time, because it really is a beautiful place. I mean, I have the privilege of living here on a daily basis and, being with the people every day and eating the wonderful food. And it might sound redundant, but I promise you those things are what makes this country beautiful to me. It obviously had an impact on her. And we know that if you do take the time to get off the fence and make that call or shoot that email, then you definitely will understand why you can be at a loss for words when it comes to visiting South Africa. So we always encourage you guys to visit us at therealsouthafrica.com. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. We do our very best to make sure we post positive comments, positive content about this country. We do love it. We love tourism. We want as many diasporans as possible to come and see what this country has to offer, whether it be by way of investment or just coming to look at, the culture, the people, and it's a very diverse place. I do think that Johannesburg is probably the best place to start because it is so diverse. So those are the things that we try to impart on a 6 or 10 or a 13-day trip. So again, we're going to be in Atlanta this weekend. We're going to make that direct flight from here this week. So again, I thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notifications button so you don't miss anything. And we will continue to do our very best to post positive content about South Africa, and encourage you guys to participate in tourism, because it is a huge part of the economy here in South Africa, and that is the best way for you to give back to this country. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see some of you in Atlanta on this weekend. Bye, guys.
All right, guys, welcome back to The Real South Africa. And yes, we have a guest here on her first impression here in South Africa. So check it out. It is absolutely amazing, and we are your travel and tourism option when you are looking at traveling to South Africa. We make sure that the packages are great and you have a perfect time and everything is in order for you. So call The Real South Africa and book with us today on our website, therealsouthafrica.com. And we also have a book for those who are looking to transition to South Africa. You can find that on our website as well. But yes, this is exciting times because there is a movement and we want you to be a part of it.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Latasha Blanchard from The Real South Africa, and we are a lifestyle travel and tourism company here in South Africa. And today I have the pleasure of having a traveler all the way from North Carolina by way of Philly, right?
That's right.
Visiting us here. She's celebrating a lot of things, just life in general. I'm going to let her introduce herself and then we're going to get chatting.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Stephanie Long, and I'm originally from Philadelphia, PA, and I now live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm here on vacation, and it's absolutely wonderful. 14 days.
You're about how many days in right now? Are you 7 days in?
7 days.
Mm-hmm. Look at your 7 days in.
Mm-hmm.
So just give the people some idea, like what prompted you to consider South Africa? Because I know you've been to other African countries. So tell them why you put South Africa on your list.
So South Africa was on my list after we've gone to Ghana last year. And Ghana and South Africa is a difference in night and day. South Africa, what we were told, the lot of propaganda that the South Africans don't like you,
Mm-hmm.
that they're this and that. But it's totally a lie. I mean, they're very, very friendly, very accommodating. They're very more like home. Welcome home. So
Welcome
that
home.
was wonderful.
Excellent. So you've been here for a couple days now. Just pick out of the 7 days, just give me 3 highlights of your experience so far.
Oh my God. The shopping experience, you won't find that in the U.S. The food,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness. I mean, like I was telling, a thing of lamb that we would pay,
Mm-hmm.
a whole pack, it would be about $7,500. Here you can get, relatively speak, about 13 bucks is what I saw in the supermarket yesterday. So that, the clothing and the fashion is really nice. And my highlight, oh my God, the safari was fabulous.
Now, most people don't want to go on safari, so tell them why they shouldn't leave that off.
Please don't leave that off. To see the beautiful animals, I mean the elephants, the baby elephants and the lions, it's just,
It's nice, right?
it's breathtaking. Yes,
It's nice,
yes,
right?
it is.
So you would definitely encourage people to not take safari off their list.
Oh, never. Mm-mm.
Gotta definitely.
That's a must. That's a must see.
You heard her. You need to go on safari. So for those of you that are like, I don't want to go on safari, it's not anything that you think it is. It's something way better than that. It's way more. You really get to be at peace and at one with nature. Like, that's how I view it. And I go as often as I can. I'm sure you guys will see a video soon or have seen a video where we just left one not too long ago. So we're not going to compare countries, but just in general, talk to the people about what you've experienced so far beyond the food, the fashion, and the safari. Because obviously you're feeling something that you maybe not
we're expecting to feel?
Well, I feel like this. I feel like the people aren't stressed. I feel like it's not like the U.S. It's more of a relaxed environment. It's just different altogether. It's different. It's different. Different way of life.
Explain that part.
The people are more hospitable. I'm trying to put this into words.
It's hard.
It really is. I mean, the stress in the U.S., you don't feel it here. You don't feel
With
it.
a smile on her face, she says, you don't feel it
You don't even think about it.
Mm-mm.
The way they drive, oh my goodness, the drivers are absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. They are.
Good. Good. So when you're out, you know, whether one should come to South Africa, whether they should not come to South Africa, should they put South Africa on the list as a place to visit?
Oh, that's the top of the list. Yes, absolutely.
And when you compare lifestyles, I think you mentioned that a second ago, explain to them or to me what you mean by like it's a lifestyle. Like, what are you noticing?
I noticed that, like I said, the stress level isn't there. And I spoke about the food being fresh and how it's prepared. We went to McDonald's. I forgot
You
to
did
tell
not.
We went to McDonald's when we were in the mall. Oh my goodness!
For what?
McDonald's is different. The
just wanted to
burger.
see?
My
Okay.
husband loved McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good.
So we said, well, we're going to get a little snack. And we thought it was going to be a really snack.
Yeah.
Well, the burger itself is different.
Okay.
It's a little bit thicker.
Okay.
And the fries, and we just ordered like was it a small meal? A medium meal, but it was large.
Really?
Yeah. They give you much more.
So how did you eat it? Like
And-
taste wise?
And the taste is different, by the way. To the taste, it is different. I'm glad you mentioned that. The
Does it
taste
taste
is different.
better,
It
like-
tastes better. It does taste better, and it tastes fresher.
Fresh.
Yeah.
So maybe they're using real beef
Beef,
here?
I believe.
Okay, okay.
And the fries are just taste as it did 20 years ago when the fries were good because they changed up.
Did they?
the
I
US.
haven't eaten McDonald's in I don't know how many years, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it on that. I can't tell you. I mean, I see the people eating McDonald's here and them getting the little ice cream cones. I did like their ice cream back in the day, but I haven't had any of that soon. So, I mean, lately. So, of all the food that you've eaten, what have you had? What have you had?
Oh my goodness, I had lamb.
Mhm.
Lamb was fabulous. Steak,
Mm-hmm.
chicken. Even the chicken is very fresh. There, we had a cheeseburger meal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that cheeseburger. I would almost think that cheeseburger is almost half a pound. I mean, it was bigger than a quarter pound.
Really? I have to trust you. I told you I don't eat there.
Oh, you
I don't
yeah,
eat-
not there, but
Oh.
other places.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
other
mini
places.
burger.
Yeah.
Isn't your burger thick? Well, how much
It,
you eat yourself?
it depends on, they do burgers by the gram, so it's either going to be 150 gram or maybe like 200 or 300. So it can
Equivalent to-
be fairly big.
Huge,
Can be
huge,
fairly
and
big.
worth every penny. Worth it.
So you had a good burger then.
And I did absolutely.
So you've eaten a little bit of everything.
Everything. I've had it all. Had chicken breast yesterday, and it was just melted in your mouth. And you know, there's different ways to cook everything.
There is.
So many different ways.
No.
So if you think you didn't like it, maybe you like it now. Like black olive was one of my things I did not like, but I had the Greek salad and everything else on it. I like it now. With
No
the
way.
seed in it, with the black olives, with the seed.
No
I never
way.
had that.
No way.
Mhm.
So back that side you don't, but this side you do.
But now I do.
So that means that the olive must taste different here.
Well, you know, I don't know because I had a black olive years ago, and then I'm sure it's different. But this is fresh, so when I go back, I can compare more since I discovered I like it.
Right.
So we'll see.
So I'll tell you a story very similar. So on that side, I do not like a green or red pepper raw. I do not like them at all.
Okay, see.
So I was here for an extended stay, and they brought me salad, and I didn't want to be the ugly American and be
Yeah.
like, I don't eat peppers. So I let them leave the peppers. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this pepper, and I was like, oh my God, it's sweet. It tastes so good. So I was like, oh my, I'm so happy. I like peppers now.
Mm-hmm.
I got back to the States, bought some peppers, and I was like, I don't like peppers.
The same.
It wasn't the
See
same.
that?
So I eat peppers here. I do not eat them back that side. So I'll be interested to see if you get black olives that side, and if maybe it's okay. Maybe you do like them now, but I only like the peppers here. That's me. So you've been to Soweto. You've been on safari. You've done a couple of other things. How was dinner at Signature?
Signature.
That's not what you've done. Live
Yeah, I
music.
know I have. Oh, the live me. Oh, I loved it. Oh my goodness. Signature. Signature was fantastic. Oh my goodness. What do we have? The steak.
You did have the
That was
steak there?
delicious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, they had bread at that Signature place. Let me tell you about that bread.
Please tell me about the bread.
See, and I don't know if they bring it to you where you get it as much as you want, like they do in the States. But I asked for another. They gave it
They'll
to
bring
me.
you as much as you want.
So, they had the butter, different butters. Oh my goodness, the butter with the garlic. I was, and he was trying to tell me, calm down. I said, what do you mean, calm down? I said, this is the whole experience.
It is.
So I'm not going to leave nothing out. I'm not going to get home and say, well, I could have, I should have had this and that. No.
She said, I'm on vacation.
What's wrong with you?
The bread was
Is it-
good.
Wasn't it good?
And the butter is
But that butter, that garlic butter, right?
It's so
I
good.
don't know how you make that garlic butter.
Then you want to figure out how they make it.
Yes.
She's gonna be calling trying to get recipes and stuff. How you make that butter? And I'm like, no, we're not gonna tell you. So overall, a lot of people are hesitant to come to Africa, to come to South Africa. Have you been afraid at all since you've been here?
No. Oh no. Not at all. And just like anywhere else, I say you practice security at home. You have to practice security no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm.
You go in any country, anywhere.
So you do feel
But
safe.
but I don't have to look over my shoulder like I do in the U.S.
Okay.
I don't,
Okay.
not at all.
I was just wondering because we get a lot of questions still about like safety and stuff like that. So just like to reiterate that it is safe and talk to me about your accommodations, because I think we were having a conversation off to the side about what your expectations were and what you actually got. So explain that to them just a little bit.
So part of the accommodation was shopping. I'm like, I don't want to go shopping. So you got down on this. I mean, because I would walk down, downtown, they had vendors for sale. I was thinking, more lines like that. But the shopping mall was very, very interesting to see how the life is. We were in a high-end mall, and then we were in a kind of medium mall. The medium was
I'm sure.
I do. Which was the Africa. That was very, very nice. And it has everything. You're not lacking anything. Absolutely nothing here in South Africa. So yeah, I advise everyone to come. You have to travel to the motherland. You have to travel.
She said you have to travel. And when you first got here and you got upstairs and you saw your room, was it what you expected?
I was over. Yes. I was very surprised to see the accommodation we had. Nice apartment and nice room, nice bedding, so you're not lacking anything. I even didn't, how you travel and you have to. Some people are germaphobe like
Yeah.
and they bring extra sheets.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even have to do that. That's how
She
clean
said
it
they
is. It was
bring
really
extra
cute.
sheets. You sound like somebody in my family.
I got 2 pairs. And then I had the wash and dry, which
Right.
was a blessing.
Mhm.
I know I overpacked, but it was fine.
No, we talked about that before you left. I was
It's
like,
fine.
honestly, if you want to have choices,
Mhm.
the weather has been a little bit off since you've been here. It was hot and then it rained a little bit, so you've got a little bit of everything.
It
since
wasn't
you've been
even
here.
hot. I
You're
said,
like,
this is
what?
average. And then I never sweat, not one time. Nope, not at all.
Really?
It was chilly the whole time, yes.
It's been in like 85 degrees. You talking about some chili?
Nope,
But
it
there's
was nice.
okay.
Mhm.
So the weather is good. The weather is
The weather is
good.
very good.
Weather's very good.
Mhm.
So I know that you guys are heading to Cape Town tomorrow. So you can drink that while I chat if you want. you're heading to Cape Town tomorrow, so I'll be interested to see. We'll probably have a chat once you get back on that side, just so I can get your ideas about like the difference between your feeling here and your feeling in Cape Town. Where you're staying in Cape Town, you're gonna love it there as well. I'm excited for you to go there. I'm excited for you to see the difference in the two places, and definitely what you're gonna be able to experience. And I know you're gonna love our sommelier when you go on your wine tasting.
So I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm glad that you convinced your husband to come here for his birthday. So how has he been? I know he's not going to speak for himself because that's not what guys do. They let us do it for them. So is he enjoying it though?
He is.
Is he allowing himself to enjoy it?
He was very relaxed. That spa was the highlight of it.
Talk to me about the spa.
Oh my goodness, that spa was so good. That was long overdue. Long overdue because we haven't gone in over 2 years. As a matter of fact, we've never gone together as a couple, but we've gone.
I got you. So that was probably a good experience to just be able to do that for him. Today is his actual birthday. I tried to embarrass him, but he would not allow me to do so. I was gonna sing "Happy Birthday" really, really loud, and he was just like, And she was like, "Do it." It's like, do it. So we don't want to put him out there like that. So, a lot of people are, wondering what type of service they're going to get overall when they travel with us. So just to give them an idea, like how has the service been overall from, the airport pickup to today when you got dropped off?
You and Brandon, you did a good job.
Thank you.
I'm meaning to tell you.
Thank you.
Really, really put this together. The driving, was right on point. Because we don't have to worry about, you take the pressure off. How we gonna do this? How we gonna do that? Renting a car and everything. No, you get the driver, and it's private. Takes you to and fro, and all your accommodations are met, and it's been wonderful.
Now, you did have, you had drivers and you had a guide. One of your guides probably is very knowledgeable. How has the interaction been with the guides when it comes to discussing history and cultural stuff? Like, have you learned anything from any of the guides?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. The driver, to me, he acts as a guide.
No, there are people that are drivers and guides, and then there's some that are just guides.
Okay.
But if you have a driver guide, then they're gonna literally talk to you the whole time. So you had a driver guide a couple times
so
for some of the
difference.
tours. Yeah, for some of the
okay.
like for your safari, you had a driver guide, and for Soweto, you had a driver guide.
Yep.
So you can see the difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. I thought they were regular. He was a regular driver, and one interacts and one doesn't.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so now I understand it.
Yes.
But the driver, the guy, he did both. I mean, he was wonderful. He was very, very knowledgeable.
He knows everything.
And I loved him. I hope to see him before we. I don't think I will, but I really wanted to see him.
I don't know.
Or get his information.
Okay.
To keep
I'll make sure
in
you get that,
contact.
yeah.
Yeah, because he was good. And he enjoyed doing his. It wasn't about the money. See, this is the difference. It's not, it wasn't about, you don't feel that. It wasn't about money. It was about the whole experience. Because I feel like, and you can tell it's just not a job to him.
No.
He enjoys
No, he
doing
really,
the job.
really does.
Oh, he loves
really
it. You got to be a people person to do that job anyway.
He loves
And he
it.
is. He definitely is.
His son is just like and his son does the same thing that
Really?
he does, and they're living like
Really? Okay.
So they do a very good job. Is there anything that you wanted people to know overall, just about you, like how you decided to come to South Africa, or just anything in general you want them to know about how you feel right?
Well, I did check out, to be honest with you, when you think about like the travel agent. We did look at travel agents prior to South Africa, and I came across Schwartz because I wanted a black owned site.
Okay.
So that was
Thank
number
you.
one.
Thank you.
That was number one. Number two, I looked at this. I'm like, I wasn't feeling it. I said no. I said we're gonna try them now, and I'm glad we did. And it was a year in the planning, wasn't
Yep,
it? About
year
a
in
year.
planning,
And we did it.
Mhm.
And I'm glad. I have no regrets at all.
Good. So planning is also, one of the big things that allow us to provide a good service to you. So it is a team effort. We communicate often.
Yes.
We communicate often. Questions she had, she could either text or email or call. We talked about the time zone difference, but we still made a lot of things work. So just keep in mind that, whether it's myself or a team member, at the time it was me, because I had the phone at the time. So we do what we can to make things work for you. But if you're in the planning phase, you can plan out as far as you like or as little as you like, but you do need to be an active participant in your own adventure. Because of the stuff that we do, we need to make sure that you're going to get what you deserve based on who you are. And I think that because of the conversation we had, I kind of knew what you were. You really wanted to come here and do nothing. You wanted to come and just be like, where do I got to be? Tell me where I got to be. And I just want to do that. You don't want to have to think about anything. You wanted, because you made it very, very clear that you needed a vacation.
Yes.
Made it very clear. So that obviously guides us in a much more solid direction. I mean, obviously we're going to take care of you anyway, but that means we got to double down on things. Make sure that everything is extra sorted for you, because I do know that you came here to relax. So obviously you're relaxed today.
Yes. With the spa treatment, I'm very relaxed.
How was it? I mean, talk about the
I mean,
spa.
what do we have?
What they do?
We had the salt water.
Ooh, you guys.
The executive treatment. So that was very nice. Very nice. She hooked us up. Okay.
It was his birthday.
It was just fantastic.
It was his birthday.
So we had that. What else we do? Oh my goodness, salt rub. That was sweet. That was really
She's
nice.
like, girl, you feel good.
You feel it?
Yeah. I'm like, dang.
I see how sweet. Now I need it.
I'm gonna get I gotta get myself together. She making me feel like something right now.
But that salt rub was so good. That was really nice. It was for 4.5 hours. No, I could have stayed another 2 hours. I really could have. And I said we had to check out 3 o'clock. I looked up, it was like 2:45. I said, oh no, I don't even want to leave.
Wow.
Shut up real quick and got out of there for the driver.
She's like,
Yes.
man, I guess we gotta leave.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta leave. Cool.
So it was really nice.
So any parting words? I mean, obviously, we want to encourage people to travel to South Africa. We would like for them to use our services. We definitely want people that understand what it is we're trying to provide, that we do go forward and try and make things work for you. So all the drivers, obviously, I know, we vet everything and make sure that you're good to go. So is there anything that you would want to tell them to just encourage
Well, I would
them
tell them
to
this.
travel to South Africa?
I would tell them this, to think that the U.S. is the only place to live, and it isn't. I mean, they've been told lies, like, okay, South Africa, something like that's a lie. That is not true. So, please, you have to travel. You have to come over to South Africa.
She's like, get here. So that's the long and the short of it. She's like, get to South Africa. I'm gonna tell her thank you for giving me this time. We're gonna finish our coffees and have our snack. And if you guys have any questions, how to reach us, info@therealsouthafrica.com, or you can always find us on our website, therealsouthafrica.com. And we thank Ms. Long and her husband for giving us their time and the opportunity to serve them here in South Africa. And we hope to be able to do the same for you. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys, this is Mark Edward Blanton from The Real South Africa. And guess what? Our visa services is back. We're going to be helping you guys with visas because we all know that it can be problematic to get a visa here in the Republic of South Africa. So what we have done, we partnered with a big company that will assist us, and we've checked them out. We recommend that their services are very, very proper. Of course, we go with proper here in the Republic of South Africa, and they can assist you. So if you have questions about, do I qualify for a visa? Then that's when we have our consult. You get a consult with these guys. They will literally go through everything with you. And my expectations is for you to ask all the questions that you need to ask so you will know exactly which way to proceed. So they work in every arena of immigrations. So it would definitely help us who are looking to migrate to the Republic of South Africa. And all I can say is first, come on a trip, of course. And once you come on a trip, then you will be motivated to do all the work that needs to happen for you guys to come to South Africa properly. So all I can say is this is a great team. This is a great situation. All I can say is, again, reach out to us at outreach@therealsoutafrica.com. We will respond to you, and then you'll get an email, and then the process has began. Okay, so we will see you guys here properly in sunny South Africa. Do yourself a favor. Come to South Africa. Come to the Kruger and enjoy what is meant for you to enjoy. Look at this environment. Can't you see yourself enjoying yourself right here with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism? Well, we can make it possible, and we could do this for you today. Go to our website, therealsoutafrica.com, and book, and you'll be part of something like this, something very special, something you can tell your friends and families that you did. And yes, this is Africa. This is the Africa that they do not want you to see, but we're going to show it to you, and we're going to make it available. And yes, we've been there ourselves, and we feel that this is the best experience that you can actually have here in the Republic of South Africa. So come here on safari with us. And of course, visit our website, therealsoutafrica.com. South Africa, and we are your travel and tourism company based here in South Africa. And of course, we are always talking about safari lodges. They are one of the best places to go to, and you're going to be able to experience it with us. As you see, going on safari is absolutely exhilarating, but in this case, we always do 5-star safari lodges, and in this case it is no different. This one here is very, very special because this is built on a train, and this is the only one in the entire world. It is located in Kruger National Park, and we want you guys to come to experience this 5-star opulent experience. It is amazing. I can't explain it to you any better than what you're seeing here. All you need to do is reach out to us at therealsoutafrica.com. And then, of course, you can go ahead and click on Kruger on one of the tabs or contact us via email, but as you see, the food is amazing, everything is nice, and this is what you deserve. So let's go ahead and make this a normal event for yourself and come to South Africa. You will be amazed. All right, guys, welcome to The Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. We are a travel company based in Johannesburg. However, we can get you to Durban because look at what you're looking at. Isn't that amazing? Can't you imagine yourself just hanging out here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days? I'm trying to tell you, you're probably not going to want to leave like a lot of our guests from the past. However, all you have to do to come here is reach out to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you can come and enjoy and see what South Africa is really about. There's so much here, so much to do between the beaches, between the culture, between the food and everything else. And of course, the people here in South Africa in this place called Durban. We will see you here in sunny South Africa.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button